going on, everybody? It's your boy Jed. Today we're going to be making some dubstep. I haven't made dubstep in years. I used to make dubstep when I was like 12 years old, but today we're going to dive back into it. This is the software Fruity Loops. If you've ever used Fruity Loops, you know what Fruity Loops looks like. If you haven't, then it's what it looks like. Every good dubstep song starts with drums, and thankfully I have a bunch of sample packs. Producer's choice, dubstep drum vault. That's exactly what we're going to be looking into. Dubstep atmospheres, crashes, hats, kicks, snares, sound effects. Let's start with kicks. Actually, wait, let's start with the BPM of the project. This up here is the BPM. This is how fast everything plays out. So if I click on the metronome and then press song, we'll see this little pink dot just appeared. That's 130 BPM. 130 BPM is a little slow for dubstep, so we'll turn it up to 150. That's what we're gonna be getting up to by the end of this video, hopefully. Kicks. This is what I absolutely love about doing this. That's a good kick. Oh, hang on, sorry everyone. Usually I like to start from a very empty template. I hate when the flex stuff is all there. Kick, delicious. Pattern. Another metronome off. Snare. I like this snare here. This one's good. Exactly what dubstep sounds like, everybody. Also, I like to layer my snares with claps. And because I am addicted to downloading sounds, we have an infinite amount of claps. Go through some. Hashtag claps. That's a lot of claps. Saint 6 claps. That's a lot of claps. Clap. Humble claps. Clap effects. Clap loops. These are techno volt claps. Claps. MMP claps. More techno claps. Somatic claps. MMP claps. The beautiful thing about having a lot of samples is that you can go down here and just type in kick, and you have what to pick from. Quite a lot to pick from. A shocking amount to pick from. Maybe an absurd amount to pick from. We might have to clean out our hard drive. You can do that with hats too. Hats. Yeah, there we go. That's where all the hats are. Disgusting amount of wave files. What was I looking for? Claps. Saint 6 clap. I want more of a wider clap. This kick and clap snare thing might be a little too quiet. So what I'll do is I'll put both of these sounds into my mixer. If we jump over to the mixer. Boop. Clap. Boop. What I like to do is add a Fruity Blood overdrive. Now that's a lot louder. Clap over here, another blood overdrive as well. That is beautiful. That's how dubstep should sound. What I want is a wider clap. This icon pack is disgustingly over the top. I don't even know where I got it from. I've had this for years now. Oh, that sounds really clapping the snare in the same mixer track, so actually we might need to put it in a third one. Give it its own blood overdrive, but a little less. Yeah, that sounds good. We'll get to all the growls and the serum stuff in a moment, but for right now we're just working on the drums. What I could do actually, where do we? That one kind of sounds cool. Here's a little tip for everybody. See how I've just dragged a sample in and it says that it's at 140 BPM and it's not quite fitting in the 4 bars. The little tail right over here. What you can do is change the project tempo to 140. You double click on this to bring it up. Audio editor. And then you change its mode to stretch. And then now that we have our pattern of our kick, snare, and clap on the main, whatever you call it, with our hat, we click on song. See how the little pink thing pops up. Add this over there. That already sounds so cool. Let's chuck this in track 5, track 4. Put a blood overdrive on the hats. Bring it down because why not? Let's start EQing everything. Me personally, I like to EQ as I go. Parametric EQ. Now for the kick, usually I like to keep it very clean and have sub bass in the very end because later on we'll have our growling basses and then we'll put in a sub bass underneath those growling basses, and then we'll put like an LFO sidechain cutoff onto our sub bass so that our kick can stay nice and juicy. But what I like to do is bring up the mids a little, make it a little more punchy, you know what I'm saying? Clipping a little, but who cares? Chromatic EQ on the snare. High pass. What we can do is we can come over here to the little thingo, make that 4 so that it makes it a more harsh cutoff, and then we kind of cut out all of the lower ends. This will sit very nicely later on when we add our sub bass. And then what we can do from here, because this is a weird sound. I love it though. What are sub frequencies? Let's bring up the higher end. And then thank you to Production Master Melodic Dubstep Voyage 2 for this spectacular sample. Chromatic EQ. See how there's a more lower frequencies coming out of those hi-hats. I don't want those, so we cut them out. Even though they're in the sample, it's shifting through that frequency. If you have headphones on, you can hear it. So far, the drums are sounding fantastic. Now, this is obviously a very basic drum pattern. We will spice it up a lot more later on. But for now, this is perfect, especially for the process of building the bass, finding presets, playing with presets. Doing your own sound design, you could do, but I mean, come on, dude. What do I look like, Skrillex? I'm not Skrillex. Now we have 2 plugins that I'm going to be using today. Vital, Serum 2. Serum 2, I've got a lot of good presets sitting in here waiting. Now let's take a look at my preset banks because I am disgustingly unorganized. Icon Serum Archive. None of this is, all of it's labeled, but none of it's sectioned off. So the arps sit on top of the basses, sit on top of the leads, sit on top of the pads and plucks, sit on top of the synths. Gross. And then there's like weird ones that I don't even know how they got here. The factory ones, okay, yeah, they're cool. But then there's like all these, like they're inside of folders. Like I haven't done any file management. Technovolt, I've got all my Technovolt stuff here, but that's for techno. But for the sake of this one, I did make this file here. And this is all from, okay, the description of this preset is I Farted. And it's by an artist named Vrama Mist. I think he farted. Presetshare.com. Presetshare.com is like where you can go and download all the presets and whatnot that people make. People far smarter than I sat there for hours creating these insane sounds. Now, I used to be able to do all of this. I used to watch Wubix, Moonboy. I used to be able to. I used to know what all I used to know what all of the LFOs did. I used to know what all like the unisons and detunes and what everything did. But now I don't because I haven't touched Serum in years. So that's already fantastic. I don't need to touch anything else. Now you hear exactly what I was talking about. What key should we do this in? F sounds strong. Alright, here's another fun tip for you guys. Notice how if I bring up my channel rack, I've got 4 things all inside of one pattern. I want to create 4 separate patterns and have them all spread out over my main track. What you do is you go to the pattern thing, you press down on the drum menu, and then there's a little button down here called split by channel. Bang. Now I've separated each one of these things. So now I can delete all of this, come over here. Command B, 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 B. Windows key B if you're on a Windows computer, or Control B or whatever it is, you're a Windows user. So now I can section out, section off all of these segments. That sounds sick as. That actually sounds really, really cool already. Usually dubsteps, I don't know if there's like a general rule to follow. One main growl at the start. So this would start at around here. That means that we need one big growl. So we'll make a new pattern, chuck it here. We'll bring up our channel rack, go to our plugins. Choose Vital for this next one. Bring in the Vital VST. Init preset, bruv. Let's go down to my dubstep pack. Now we're looking for a growl, like a big first initial hit of Bro, who downloaded these presets? Oh, that's sick. Now, I don't know. I might do a bit of like a melodic dubstep type thing where it's like a big fat intro. So by the end of this, you'll see me do all of that. I'll fast forward a lot of this other stuff, the tedious stuff that I'm doing. Another really sick lead machine gun. Come on, man. I just need one giant. Oh, I think that's our first initial growl. Something like that. What do we? For this next one, let's grab a new pattern. Do serum for this one. Let's alternate. Let's go serum vital, serum vital, serum vital, because why the hell not? Dubstep. Now the alright everybody, watch me do this. That might be it, everybody. Alright, let's grab these 3 basses that I've just made. Let's hear what they sound like together. Now, obviously, I want to play up with all of these. This isn't going to be the finished thing, but this is just to get a main feel of everything. That sounds really sick. Voice crack. Ah! Editor Jed cut all of that out. And we're back. Hello, everybody. This is me doing the thing. What I'll do is I'll just section this off. Section this off? Hey, man, can you please section this off? Now, if you have headphones on, you can definitely hear that there's a lot of bass in these presets and the growls. Yeah, you can see all of these lower frequencies need to come out. Need to cut them off. Because when we add our sub bass, it'll sound really nice. Yeah, look at all that. We need to get rid of all of that. Pipe, in, do that, bring here. See, why is there a sub in a pluck? I don't understand. Some of these presets. Now, this is the most basic rhythm. I'm just trying to get this out of the way so we can move on to the next segment. And what is the next segment, Jed? Well, we've got our drums, we've got some sort of bass thing going on. Now we just play with the pattern. So usually what I like to do is have the first one as, well, I like to say, usually I like to, but I never make dubstep music, so this is a one-time thing. Very basic. Oh, what we could do is actually we could automate some of the... Yeah, I don't really know. I'm kind of lost. Alright, let's do a new pattern. Let's go. Yeah, it sounds good, I guess, kind of literally. Now, what I could do right now is literally be the coolest guy literally ever and get rid of the hi-hats at the very end. So when that thing plays, there's no other high frequencies mucking with it, so it will just stand out a lot. See, I went kind of quiet when that was happening. That sounds sick as. Now, what I could do, actually, literally, is grab this entire thing, duplicate it. Now we have section 1 filled out. Section 2 we need to work on. Then section 3, and then I think section 4 we can scrap entirely and have a completely different synth here, just to keep it pushing, keep it P. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. Section 1 is complete. I kind of like that growl right there in the middle, but then for this next part here. Yeah, I don't know what key. Oh, I have no. Lock me up and pull me away. I have no music theory, no nothing. I know nothing about music theory. I can play Runaway on the piano. Here's a video of that. You are now watching a master at work. than that, I have no idea what keys, what notes works with what. So if it sounds good to me, that's what's going in the video. Literally. No. What was I thinking? So what I can do now, this is the fun part. We can go grab another. We grab out another instance of, what did we do? Did we do Vital last time? Let's do Serum this time. Oh, you know what? That could be for the final one. Let's do that real quick. Sorry, everybody. Hang on. Hijacked. Now I need to have a look at my channel rack, see what everything is sitting at. So the highest number so far is 7. So we put this at 8. And then we go to our mixer. And then we do a bit of processing. Paramedic EQ. Get rid of the high. Now this is where I get to flex my miscellaneous plugins. I have about every synthesizer, I have about every preset, but Q8, dude. Wave Shell 1 VST 3 16.7. This is a Wave Shell plugin that holds 200 of my other Waves plugins. What? Now a sound like that deserves something a little crazy, a little distortion. Alright, let's use Meta Filter Stereo. That sounded sick as. Alright, what I will also do is, because I'm him, I'm gonna add a Guitar Rig 7. Okay, maybe not, because my computer's about to blow up. Ah, I don't like that at all. Why are my settings dying right now, dude? What am I doing? Oh, options, audio settings. Yeah, bro, turn that buffer length all the way up. Dude, I'm dropping frames in free loops. What is going on? My computer's about to blow up. Let's find a synthesizer, one shot, bass stabs. What is that, D sharp? Still a bit of music theory right now. If it's playing a D sharp right here and the rest of them are at F, that means I need to go up 200 cents. Ooh, that sounded sick as. Bro. That sounds so funny. Now that sounded sick as. Dude, we might be onto something. I feel like now there needs to be for this third bit, like this same sort of sound, but a lot quicker. Serum 2. That could be cool. Do like a stabbing effect for that next one. So grab a new pattern like that, lap it into here. It's like a slicing effect. That sounds sick. That could sound cool. Let me bring this back. And then finally, that last growl. Did that sound hard, or am I just like really tired? I think I'm just tired. Alright, let me listen to the whole thing. So, I mean, does it make sense? No. Does dubstep ever? Questionable. Let's try and figure this out, huh? So that first section is perfect. I don't think I need to play with that at all. That what makes me sound like I'm hitting the jackpot. Hey, 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 hey. It's on every offbeat, and I don't know how I feel about that. But I also don't know how I feel when it's sitting on every beat like this. Because then it sounds extremely robotic and kind of disgusting. No. Okay, that works. Weirdly. Why does that work? Who the hell knows? Frick it, dude. This third bit, I don't know. I still don't know if I'm set on the second bit. Hang on, let me play it one more time. stuffer. That sounds cool. Next bit though. This needs to go, dude. I'm kind of a fan of this last little bit here. I really do not know why. We can... Nah, see, we're playing with dubstep, not... What is this? Flipping drum and bass? Get out of here, Sonyan. Computer, edit this out. That sounds so much better. Everybody listen to this. Alright, I really like the way that that's sounding. Now, for the sake of creating a video, I do not know what to do next. Still recording on OBS. This is whatever it is. That's okay. We can live with that. What I'll do now is we will create an actual track using our brains. That can be like the second part of the build up where we have like our so that sample can sit there. That sounds cool. Yeah, bro, something like that. And then for this next part up here, it sounds exactly how I wanted it to sound. So we're literally doing perfect right now. I also like the sound of this, literally, not even gonna lie. Doesn't even matter literally, because we can just go F, and it'll bring up every F minor chord progression I have. And then what I can do is literally just to like call myself a producer, literally just grab like flex or something like that, like literally chuck flex in the thing, and then pick some strings. All strings sustained. Drag and drop this to literally call myself a little producer, literally. Then what I can do is I can grab this first one down here and then make section this bit off. Pencil tool, grab this, create automation clip for the volume so that we can like slowly introduce this sound. Something like that, literally. So all we have to do now that we've got our melodic, whatever the heck. Alright, now that we've got everything we need, let me check OBS. Yeah, how handsome I am right now. All these samples are really weird. So yeah, something like this, super easy. Usually, you would get one sound and then make it a million times and then anabolic steroids or something like that. That one sounded like a fart, literally. Oh, biscuits.
Body sway, minds astray, blissful chaos, night and day, pounding bass, neon lights, dancing.
Okay, buddy. Yeah, something like this. That's at an A sharp, so that needs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's gonna have 5 cents. Alright, everybody, we can obviously hear that this is completely, and if you have headphones on and you're watching this, I'm so sorry. Usually I like to mix as I go, but I haven't been mixing at all. I've just kind of like slapped wave files together and said, look at me go, everybody. I am going to start mixing soon. Like literally right now, literally. Sub bass. I need a sub bass. I need a good sub bass. I know Serum has a decent sub bass. What I'll do is I'll literally just have that sub bass playing. Alright, so I just had to make my own sub bass on him, literally. So I'll create one last final pattern for this first bass section, and it will last the entire thing. And it'll just be hitting F. I guess I'll just cut out wherever there isn't a bass. So First attempt at making dubstep in a few years. All right, leave me alone. I don't produce dubstep. My name ain't Skrillex. I'm trying, okay? Let me quickly figure out what everything is doing in there. I haven't been organizing my channel rack at all, so this is like the ugliest it's ever been. What? Oh yeah, the mixer only gives you 16 tracks now, and you have to give it 300. Alright, everything is in my mixer. Now everything should be here. Now my kick is on number 1. Alright, so what I've just done just there is I've played around with LFO tool. This is the first time I've ever played with it. I have no idea how to use this thing, but basically I'm just side chaining the volume. Even though that I'm not really connecting anything to it, the LFO tool works in a way where it reads the BPM off the thing and then just turns the volume down really quickly, which is a side chain, but the way that I sidechain normally is by going to the kick. What you do is usually you click on the kick, and then down here you can see that this arrow is pointing straight into the main mixer. But what I like to do is click on this little arrow and see how I brought a little string along to it. Click on the kick, drag it over to the sub, enter. And then what you would normally do is you'd grab a fruity limiter. Grab a fruity limiter. I like to put it on this preset called transient shaping. You add the sidechain in 1, and then you turn the threshold all the way down. You turn the attack all the way down, the release all the way down, and then you play with the sustain and the attack until it sounds good. And you basically get that same effect that the LFO tool does. But I just turn the LFO tool on, and it just works like that. Which I didn't realize how handy that is, because now I don't have to muck around. Well, that sounds sick as this. We'll finish off the build up and then we'll call it done. Usually you add sidechain to the basses as well, so that the kick can really stand out, because in this mix the kick is like, the kick is there, but it's not really doing much. I have Ozone 11 Elements. What is Ozone 11 Elements, Jed? Well, I'll tell you in a moment. This thing right here, it is an AI mixer. You literally don't even need to mix the track. All you have to do is play the loudest chunk of the song, which I would assume would be right here. Play the loudest part of the song. It recognizes what genre it is. It recognizes the instruments. It recognizes all the sounds, and then it plays with the levels. And it's pretty handy. So if I press on the loudest part of the song, oh my goodness. I forgot to tell you that it also uses a lot of CPU power to do that. Alright, let's press bypass. So this is what it's. I want everyone to really listen if you have headphones on. Listen really closely to the difference. If you cannot hear anything, comment down below why the hell would you buy that. And if you can hear something, comment that's a W plugin. I don't know about you, but I can't really hear much. Equalizer, maximizer. Usually this works extremely well with hip hop and EDM. We're on EDM and it's not really working too well. That sounds a little better now, I guess. Sort of, kind of, really, not really. That's cool. It doesn't really matter at all, literally. Yeah, here's the final project, everyone. I'll play it for you now. Do we do the outro right now? Stuff it. I've been Jed. Thank you for watching this tutorial on how to make dubstep in the big 2026. We're obviously not making dubstep in the big 2026. We're just mucking around and having fun. It's a bit of a headache. I have no idea how dubstep works, but we gave it a go and it was fun. So if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, leave a comment, sub to the chan, and yeah, here you go. Here's the full thing. Ta-da! All right. Thanks, everyone. I've been Jed. Peace.